Hey babies, it's Sweet Cheeks, and I just wanted to come on here and tell y'all about that the just evil that exists on the internet. Yeah, you heard me right. I want to tell you about Perpetual Stew. Yeah, it's a stew that they've been brewing for a real long time. But it has a rich history and a rich broth. I tell you what, the broth is just as rich as the history, and just as dark, hun. It's just as dark as the history is too. And so let me tell you what now. The broth and the perpetual stew, it has a long storied history. It goes all the way back to medieval times. Because in medieval times, and it's not the one you're thinking of. It's not the medieval times with the boys on the horses and the jousting. No, 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 no. It's the medieval times of yesteryear. Yesteryear. Yesteryear is a crazy word. But it's the old medieval time. And they had a community back then. It's far different from the community that you probably have now on TikTok and on the Instagram and on the YouTubes. Okay, it's a community that existed roughly in a town. Maybe you've heard of a town. It was before they had cars, so people didn't have to drive everywhere. It was just like right there. And they were farmers. And they would take their leftovers to kind of a central community meeting place, almost like a lighthouse, but there was no lights, no houses. Well, there was houses, but it wasn't like the lighthouse. It wasn't a tower of sorts. And so they went there and they developed, they had like a stew, a pot, and they would just boil and boil and boil all their leftovers. It was kind of the first socialism in a way. It was ahead of its time. It really was ahead of its time. I'll tell you what. I will tell you what. It is quite crazy because they would brew and brew and brew, and they would make just the hottest stew you ever seen. And they would assign a lovely person to be in charge of the stew. They call them the stew keep. I just made that up, but it's probably true. They would be the keepers of the stew. Why wouldn't they be the stew keep? It's something to think about, it really is. But that kind of all died out when people invented 9/11 and the World Trade Center and the health inspector and Campbell's and all that. So they got rid of it. But what I'll tell you is that it didn't end there. No, it didn't end there. It kind of evolved into a bastardized version of it. And the thing about it is, the kids found out. And you all know when those damn kids find out about something that they're gonna just run it into the ground, honey. It's just anything. It just becomes anything when those damn kids find about it. But they have, unfortunately, they have access to a crock pot. Probably their grandmother's crock pot, but a crock pot nonetheless, because they were doing things with it that should never have been done with a pot. They were doing more than just cooking things in it. They were crafting things in it in a dark and evil way. They were putting flavors in there that were just wrong and nasty, like shrimp and sweet potato and cocoa nibs, maybe. I don't fucking know. But I've been seeing on TikTok the kids are making stew for over 200 days. What the hell? What the hell's going on with that shit? Why are we making stew for that long in the 2025? It's what's going on there? I'm not loving that. I'm not living for that, team. So the kids are making stew. It's really fucked up, and they're getting sick from it too. It's actually pretty bad. I saw a kid on the internet. He's been sick for about 3 months from the stew. He's still eating it though. Well, I mean, what do you want when you're sick? Stew. So it kind of checks out. But the thing about it is too, he's been giving it to his friends. He's been giving it to his friends, and they've been getting sick too. It's just something that you just don't want to see. It's like he's basically creating a new species in that pot. It's primordial soup at this phase. It's exited the perpetual stew. It's primordial soup. What the hell's going on? And another thing. And another thing about it is that at this rate, stuff's about to start popping out of his chest if he keeps eating this stew like this. He can't keep doing all this and that with it. Whatever happened to that demure girl? She needs to step up and speak up about this because the kids are making soup in a non-demure way. It's very ooky spooky and all that, and I don't really like it. I don't really like what you kids have made soup into. It's sick. It's perverse, and it really, if anything, it's pointing out how important these federal agencies are. Because what do you mean we can just have pots at our house and just cook whatever? I don't like that. We should really investigate into that because why are you just cooking anything? You shouldn't be cooking anything. Some of y'all need a license to cook. Especially if you're going to feed your friends. You shouldn't be eating at everybody's house. If I'm learning anything from this, it's that you shouldn't be eating at everybody's house. So that's really what I gotta say. And medieval times, if you're watching this, I would love to come. I got banned from a few back in the day, but those boys made a pass at me first. And I'm just saying, the turkey leg is not the only thing I'll slobber on, okay? So if you get me into one of those medieval times, I'll show y'all a real good time, okay? I just want to say, my inbox is open. Medieval times, if you're listening.